There ain't enough Jay-Z spitting verses at 60.
Right.
See, I like where you went there and shit. For me, it's they don't know, like, it's hard. I'll give you an example. And I'm not saying this is me, but I'm pretty sure this has happened. There have been episodes where you can be an artist at a label, an up-and-coming label or a label that's already popping or whatever and shit.
Right.
But you create a lane at this label now that blows up. They make millions, you make millions, whatever. 5, 6 years from that, y'all part ways.
Right.
A new guy comes in.
Right.
Right? Now, when you got your deal, let's say it was for 6 figures, this guy comes in and gets 7 to 8 figures. Right? But remember, the path you laid, that new path, opened up a whole new lane of money for this label.
Right.
Which opened up a new lane for artists on this wave to pass through. Now, 6 years have passed, you're not on the label anymore, this new guy gets signed. 2 more years after that, you run, the guy blowing up, he blows up. You run into him, right? And they don't even acknowledge you. Kind of thing.
Has that happened to you?
No, it hasn't happened to me. But I'm pretty sure this has happened. And it's not not a conscious thing as far as the newer artist goes.
I think Mecca he's stated many times that it's been preached to these new artists that the old heads are haters.
I get that. And you know it's warranted though. Like I said before, it's warranted because when this new wave of music was coming through and it was these cadences weren't what we were used to.
Right.
And we're coming off of Eminem high, we coming off Jay making some of the best music he had ever made in his whole career.
Right.
And it was lyricism. Then the battle rap shit was bop, bop, bop.
Bop, bop. Right.
And then you coming in and these dudes it's a vibe now. I didn't understand it at first when my kids was trying to put me on to the shit, but I understand it now. And it's like, I think about this, and when I was younger, yeah, we had Big Daddy Kane and all them niggas, but you know which party was rocking the most? The ones that was playing the reggae, the dance hall, the rockers.
Right.
That's what we used to call it and shit. And it got to the point where I didn't want to hear hip hop in the club. And these kids are in the club. So for them, it's like, if you're not doing this, we don't want to hear that shit. And on top of that, you motherfuckers are saying, we not hip hop. We came from y'all. Now, if it was respect on both sides, because there have been artists that came in the beginning, Melle Mel, people like that, but Melle Mel in particular. Melle Mel has shit on hip hop after him. Like, he's shit on a lot of people that came after him. And there are a lot of people like myself who are fans, who have been fans, who are still fans of Melle Mel. And to this day, when I see Melle Mel, I speak to him, but Melle Mel was rotten.
Yeah.
You know, there was an episode where he just passed me by and my hand was out and all that shit. And I don't know if it was consciously done or if it was just done on some malice shit. Right. Either way, it was like, I watch interviews and things of that, and Mel talk real reckless, and it's like, yo, Mel, there are people, some of these people that you talking about love you, man. Don't do that.
Yeah.
Don't do that. If anything, show them. If you the best, show them.
Show it.
Period. I don't give a fuck if nobody listening. You out there doing this shit.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And when it gets to those blocks right there, and then they have day crews and, you know, certain people that work at labels that's bigging them up and telling them when they want to do records with some of these OGs, they're like, you don't want to fuck with him, he's over with. That's another block.
But those blocks for them are necessary because the OGs will probably put them on to business things that they should be doing.
Why.
That's not happening.
But I get that. I understand that part.
Right.
But that's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about the younger generation reaching back to the older generation saying, let's just do a record together. And the
Bridging
people
the gap.
who are in the middle right here, like, nah.
There's a reason for that. That's intentional. That's not by mistake. That's intentional.
Honestly, like just why would Floyd Mayweather fight somebody that's had 10 fights? It wouldn't
make sense.
It wouldn't make sense for Floyd to do that shit. Or a fighter that's coming up in the ranks. People like him, but he hasn't proven himself.
There's a difference between fighting them and sparring with them to make them better. I can spar with you on a single and make you better. I can sit in on your studio session and make you better. Fighting you is me dropping my album the same day as yours and wiping you off the map.
That's crazy.
That's a fight. Nobody's asking for a fight. What I think a lot of people don't see is I think the idea of the separation, people think that that's by mistake or that just kind of happened. I look at it as way more insidious. I think it's absolutely intentional, because if the young artist gets next to you and you get to sit there and tell him all the shit you went through at Def Jam, and get to tell him all the ways your contract might have been fucked up, and all the ins and outs of the publishing world, and you start telling that dude who's generating somewhere in between $6 to $8 million every couple of months for this label, you start telling him what he's worth, he's gonna turn around and look at the label and say, wait a minute, you motherfuckers is playing me this whole time.
But you're not doing that in one studio session. This is what I'm saying.
But keeping you away keeps the friendship from happening.
I understand that if you develop a friendship, because
Why
honestly,
risk it?
a lot of the newer artists, I mean, not even newer artists. There's people I've done records with, right? And now you don't even have to be in the studio with a motherfucker and shit. But I respect them enough that I'm gonna jump on their shit with them and shit. And you take. Damn, I forgot my point. That's trees.
Labels, blocks.
Labels, blocks.
Blocking between the young dudes and the older generation.
Nah, that wasn't the point I was gonna make. Fuck, I hate when I do that shit. That's what 51 is like, kids.
Stop it.
Fuck. But anyway, I mean, I get that people, or there's a way to think that, you know, not conspiracy, intentional, absolutely. But it discourages from, there could be some incredible music made if some of these newer cats would step outside their comfort zones and fuck with some of the music maybe that their grandparents fuck with, like we did. Because honestly,
But here it is, they do. They do.
I hear it now. I heard that Lotto joint. I heard the joint with Megan Thee Stallion.
Right.
That's the Jodeci joint.
All throwback joints.
It's a lot of that, and the drill music is definitely doing
Yeah,
it because
all
they remake.
Yeah.
You
every
answered your
motherfucking
question with the one word. You said it would be incredible music to be made. If I'm the label, my interest isn't making music, it's making money.
Absolutely.
I get to keep the money doing it the way that I'm doing it. I get a new dude who I can bring in, cash out, burn him out, get him out of here, replace him, because he's that easy to replace. Finding another Method Man gonna be hard as fuck.
Once you pass in the music, you have nothing to barter with until your audience comes.
Say it again?
Once you pass in the music, you have nothing to barter with until your audience comes.
So if I control the narrative that's hovering over the audience, if I can keep them understanding that from this range to this range is cool, age-wise, and this range to this range is washed and corny, fuck them and everything they say,